Tracy Neely.
Okay, and how old are you?
53.
All right, and where are you from?
Georgia.
All right.
I had a slight back problem, stiffness in the morning, and a problem with low energy. I applied the ionic strips, and wore them in my shoes for a day or so. I noticed that I had more energy. On long drives, I would usually fall asleep. I noticed that I would stay awake and enjoy the ride. And also the stiffness with my back. After I applied the ion strips, I didn't experience it as much. I usually have stiffness and pain every morning. I noticed that I had more flexibility and more durability. I carry a lot of equipment. I'm a musician, of course, and I usually carry all the equipment. And I noticed I had more vitality and strength. I had the honor and pleasure of playing at the Burton's mansion, Freddie Burton being the CEO. I've had the pleasure of playing here for the last 4 or 5 months. And at first arriving, had no knowledge that this concept was being expounded upon people. And during the time that I came and played, I became familiar with the concept. Myself analyzing the product, the results of it, I feel that the product is very, very good. It more than exceeded my expectations. Being able to get up every morning and having vitality and total flexibility and the boost of energy, which is which is highly necessary in the business that I'm in. Like I said before, I carry all the equipment, and I really need a lot of energy. A lot of times I feel like going to the gig, but after the gig I don't really feel like unloading and putting up equipment. This aids me in having more vitality and energy. I've told a couple of people about it, but more so I've had a great pleasure of seeing the people who attend the seminar of seeing their results with the product.
Janice Brown. My right hip had pain or stiffness or sore stiffness in the muscle. I had the problem with my hip for about a week. I'm a cyclist and climbing hills and mountains. I favor the right side of my body, so the hip took the brunt of those climbs rather than balancing on both sides. Lamont Crosby, a friend of mine, we're in business together with another company called Financial Destinations, brought me over to show a video phone to Mr. Burton, which he noticed there was a limp and gave me an ion pad to put on my hip. For about an hour and 15 minutes that I was here, the pain was all gone. Mr. Burton basically noticed the hip and had me to apply the pad. And if you have pain and you want to just, try something out new, you never know. And I was shockingly amazed that the pad did work.
Hi, my name is Mark Nobel from Hollywood, California. The first thing that appeared is I had a snapping in my elbow. And as soon as I got these things on, the snapping went away, because I could hear it snap every time I bend my elbow. Snap, snap. And then I had other things. My hands were very dry, and sometimes they would bleed in my feet. And now they're nice and moist. Many, many things happened to me since I've been wearing negative ion clothes. It was January 20th when I started.
And how did you learn about the ion product concept?
A friend of mine, we went out to eat, and she shared it with me. And I went to a meeting and I learned all about it, and I've been hooked ever since. All the problems I had went away. My thinking is clearer. I'm much happier. I was very depressed. And I used to have to get up with a cane. It was so bad at times. That's gone. I don't even need a cane. I wake up and I have no pain. Yeah, I've told many, many people about what I'm doing. And lot of people have gotten on the bandwagon with the same type of material. Everything is true. Nothing's a story. It's all the truth that happened to me. And I'm very, very happy. And I will tell the world if I have the opportunity.
Lynn Bug.
How are you doing today?
Good.
That's good. And how old are you?
55. None right now. I had a couple before I started using the negative ions. Well, what happened is I was training. I'm into martial arts, and sometimes you get bruises and bumps and sore knuckles and sore knees and joints and everything else. So I had an issue with my thumb joint here, my knuckle. And before I knew about these negative ions, it took, I'd say, a good 2 or 3 months to heal. And I didn't think I'd ever be able to train without this being sore. Showed me this. I strapped it around next time I got injured, I strapped it around my thumb like this, slept overnight, and instead of taking 2 or 3 months to heal, it was gone the next day. The soreness, I still had a little bit of swelling. It looked different from my other one, but the soreness was gone. And also, in my dojo, we do a lot of kicking, and we kick shields and we kick the hanging bags. Sometimes I'd have a real sore big toe, and it would stay sore for weeks. Same thing, I strapped this around my toe, slept, and not even the next day, within a couple of hours, the pain was gone. And in fact, a few people that I work out with, I've introduced it to them, and they've had positive results. Everything that I had to say is factual and truthful and from the heart.
My name is Jonah Robinson.
How old are you, Jenna?
I'm 19, Pomona, Pasadena.
Okay.
Ever since I started my menstrual cycle, I've had severe cramps. My back hurt. It makes me throw up. My whole body starts to hurt, get headaches. And Freddie Burton introduced me to the ion pads, and I ended up using them 1 month during my cycle, and it helped prevent a lot of my cramps. I didn't throw up, my body wasn't hurting at all, and I ended up using it a second time for a second month and seeing what my results were going to be for that second month. And that second month, it didn't cure me 100% like the first time did. You know, stopped most of my problems the first time. Say about 75% it cured this previous time that I used the ion. You know, each month I use them. I use 2. Every time I get ready to change or whatever, I use 2, and then I just use 2 and change them every day for 7 days.
Did you use it?
I put them in my shoes. It does help with the perspiration in your feet, because when I wear heels, my feet tend to sweat, especially if it's hot. Then you know you had put the ion pads in your shoes or on your heels, and it helps the perspiration. It stops the sweating, and I never really had too much odor problems with my feet. So no, I wouldn't say that it really affects my energy personally because of how young I am. I could say that possibly maybe for somebody more older with less energy than I have, because I have tons of energy because I'm only 19. I mean, I could see how it would affect somebody else's energy older than what I am. And I'm 19, so I have tons of energy, so it wouldn't affect my energy at all. Anytime I get a chance, anytime I have some in my purse, and you know, somebody that'll sit down and listen to me, or even if they won't, I will still try and, you know, persuade them into going ahead and at least trying the product. Not even buying the product, just try the product. You know, just tell me what it does for you. Just tell me what it does for you. And, you know, we can get past it from there on. You know, tell me what you want after that. Nothing that I've said here today has been exaggerated in any way, shape, or form.
Tracy Renee here, and I'm sitting here with Miss Esther, and we're going to be talking to her about a medical experiment that she's a part of involving ions. How are you doing today, Miss Esther?
I'm 65.
Wonderful. And where are you from?
I'm from Los Angeles. I had something called diverticulitis.
Yes.
And I have arthritis, and it was very, very bad. And the other day, my diverticulitis was acting up so bad until I made an appointment with the doctor, but they couldn't take me any sooner than the
20th or 2 weeks from now, and I
Right,
needed
right.
something right then.
Right.
And so what happened is I had the ions, and I had the pad, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go in here and try this. And I did, and I put it on my stomach.
On your stomach, okay.
Yes.
And that's where you applied the ion sample.
Right.
Okay.
And within 2 hours, my pain was gone.
That is amazing.
It is. It's a miracle.
It is. And you just simply placed it on the outside of your stomach.
Right. I placed it on my stomach. I put it in, between my underwear. And I left it there for about 2 hours. And I could notice that the pain was, going away gradually. But after about 2 hours, it was just gone completely. I heard about it from Freddie Burton.
All right.
And I really didn't pay it too much attention at first.
Right.
But I began to have such excruciating pain, and I said, let me go in here and try it and see. And it's a miracle worker.
Right.
It really is. And I'm a living witness.
Right.
And it sells itself. If you're in pain, if you have any kind of back pain or stomach pain or arthritis or knee pain, please get this. Friends that suffer with the same thing, and I will definitely be handing out the samples.
That's wonderful. And this is what the sample comes in. If you would like a sample or more information about anything you saw here, or if you want to speak to Esther about how she felt after using the product, feel free to contact Freddie Burton. It was so nice talking to you.
Well, thank you very much.
You're
and I'm very
welcome.
happy to be here.
I'm happy you're here as well.
And another
feeling
thing
good.
I want to say it gave me energy.
It gave you
because
energy.
usually I'll do 2 things and I have to go in the bed and lay down.